Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Sunday, November 29, 2015, around 8:45 in the evening in Billerica, Massachusetts. The sun's down. It's going to be a cold night, be in the 20s. Tomorrow will be a couple of degrees above freezing. We're heading into winter. Some news to report. Orlando Magic, which is Julie Broughton's favorite team, beat the Boston Celtics by the score of 110-91. And LA Lakers star player Kobe Bryant announces his retirement from the NBA after the end of the 2015-2016 season. 20 years. Kobe Bryant's been in the NBA, probably one of the greatest players in NBA history, but he probably knew his time was up because the LA Lakers said that they weren't going to re-sign him after his contract was up at the end of the season, and he knew the writing was on the wall, and I don't think he would want to go to another team. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer in 2022, and that's about it on that. My third and final video blog of the night is about my review of WWE Survivor Series 1998, which happened at the Keo Center in St. Louis, Missouri. It's now Scott Trade Center. And this was the only Survivor Series to date to not have a Survivor Series elimination matches. It was a tournament to crown the new WWE champion, and it had a surprise finish. And they had a few dark matches and matches on Sunday Night Heat before the pay-per-view. The first one was a dark match. It was too much. Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor defeated the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy. And three matches happened on Sunday Night Heat. It was the Job Squad, Bob Harley, and Scorpio defeating the Legion of Doom, which was Hawk, No Animal, and Droz. And Hawk interfered. He was acting drunk and stuff. And they had another match. It was Val Venus defeating Tiger Ali Singh. Tiger Ali Singh had a gimmick about how low can Americans go before he was getting fans in the crowd doing ridiculous stuff. It was kind of a knockoff of the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase gimmick. And the last match on Heat, it was Gangrel with the Brood, which was Edge and Kristen defeated off against Steve Blackman. And these are the matches that happened on the Survivor Series pay-per-view, which was called by the voices of the Attitude Era, good old JR, Jim Ross, and Jerry the King Lawler. And here they are. The first match was a first round match for the WWE Championship Tournament. It was Mankind with Vince McMahon and Pat Patterson, Gerald Briscoe, and Sergeant Slaughter facing off against a mystery mystery opponent. And that mystery opponent was a jobber, Dwayne Gill, known as Gilbert. Dwayne Gill tripped over his entrance. Mankind took the advantage, pins him in about 30 seconds to advance to the next round of the tournament. The next match in the first round of the WWE Championship Tournament, it was Al Snow. Everybody wants head. Everybody needs head. Facing off against Jeff Jarrett with Deborah in his corner. Puppies! And this was an okay match. Jeff Jarrett grabbed head when the referee was being distracted by Deborah. She was probably showing the puppies and stuff. But Al Snow took head, knocked Jeff Jarrett out, and pinned Jeff Jarrett for the 1-2-3 to advance to the second round. The next match was the Big Boss Man with Vince McMahon and the Corporation facing off against the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Stone Cold wins by DQ because Big Boss Man uses the belly club and stuff, and that's an automatic disqualification. The next match was X-Pac representing D-Generation X facing off against a real man's man, Steven Regal. This was a gimmick when he ditched him being a blue blood for being a working class man. He's a man, such a man. It was an awful gimmick. This match ended in a double count out and stuff. X-Pac suffers somewhat of a leg injury in this match, a legitimate one, and Pat Patterson said 5 more minutes for these wrestlers because he wanted a guaranteed winner, but X-Pac couldn't continue. Then another first round match for the WWE Championship Tournament. It was the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, facing off against Goldust. And Ken Shamrock beats Goldust with the ankle lock submission, tapping him out. And the final first round match was the People's Champion, The Rock, supposedly facing Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley of DX, but Triple H was still injured, and Pat Patterson said there was going to be a surprise opponent. It was the big boss man of the corporation. The Rock rolls up the big boss man in 4 seconds, advancing to the second round of the tournament. And then the next match was The Undertaker with Paul Bearer facing off against Kane. Kane and The Undertaker got first round buys in this tournament. And this was a back and forth match. Kane and The Undertaker had a long running feud in the WWE. It seemed it lasted centuries. And The Undertaker wins with a tombstone, and then Paul Bearer holds Kane's legs down for the 1, 2, 3, and The Undertaker advances to the semifinals of the tournament. The next match was Mankind with Vince McMahon and the Corporation facing off against Al Snow. Everybody wants head. Everybody needs head. And it was a back and forth match. Mankind beats Al Snow with the mandible claw to advance to the semifinals. And the last quarterfinal match of the WWE tournament was The Rock, the People's Champion, facing off against the Intercontinental Champion, the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. Back and forth match. The Rock and Ken Shamrock had a long running feud in WWE. The Rock beats Ken Shamrock with the rock bottom. 1, 2, 3. Stone Cold Steve Austin got a bye to the semifinals because X-Pac and the Real Man's Man, Steven Regal, were both counted out. They were both eliminated. And then the next match was for the WWE Women's Championship. It was Miss Jacqueline with Marvelous Mark Mello, who was the reigning WWE Women's Champion, facing off against Sable. The referee for this match was Shane McMahon, and this was dominated by Sable. It was a quick match, about 4 minutes. Sable gives Jacqueline the power bomb with a Sable bomb, pins Jacqueline for the 1, 2, 3. Sable's the new WWE Women's Champion. And then on to the semifinal matches of the WWE World Championship Tournament. The first semifinal match was Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin facing off against Mankind with Vince McMahon and Joe Briscoe, Pat Patterson, and Sergeant Slaughter. It was an awesome match, back and forth. Stone Cold hit Mankind with stunner, but Vince McMahon knocked out the referee. Sergeant Slaughter, knocked him out as well, and a special Stone Cold was waiting for a referee. Then Shane McMahon runs down. He counts 1, 2, but Shane McMahon gives Stone Cold the middle finger, turning on Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the man takes advantage and pins Stone Cold for the 1, 2, 3. Mankind's in the championship match. And then, Stone Cold gets mad. He attacks Briscoe and Patterson, giving them stunners. And also Sergeant Slaughter tries to go after Vince and stuff, and Shane. It was a plan all along to turn Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then the second semifinal match, it was The Undertaker with Paul Bearer facing off against The Rock, the People's Champion. And it was an awful match because of interference galore by the Big Boss Man and Kane. Kane attacked The Rock, causing like The Undertaker to be disqualified and stuff. It was very, very awful. And The Rock advances to the championship match. And then they had a triple threat match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. It was D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry, the last members of the Nation of Domination, facing off against the Headbangers, who turned heel, and they mocked DX, mimicking them, saying, "If you ain't down with that, we got 2 words for you. You suck." Facing off against the WWE Tag Team Champions, the New Age Outlaws, the Road Dogg Jesse James, and the Badass Billy Gunn, representing DX. And this was a competitive tag team match, back and forth. Like the ending had D'Lo Brown accidentally knocking Tomash. That takes the Badass Billy Gunn's advantage. He gives the famous to Tomash, pinning him 1, 2, 3. The New Age Outlaws remained the WWE Tag Team Champions. And then the main event was the finals of the WWE Championship Tournament. It was the People's Champion, The Rock, face off against Mankind with Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon and stuff. And this was a great match and stuff. Mankind was the heel and The Rock was a face. And the ending, The Rock put Mankind in the sharpshooter. Mankind did not give up, but Vince McMahon says to ring the bell. Mankind and The Rock do a double switch. The Rock turns heel and wins the new WWE Championship. And he's the new corporate champion. And also Mankind doesn't understand what happened. He was screwed out of the WWE Championship, and The Rock attacks Mankind, giving him people's elbows and stuff like that. The fans were booing crazy, The Rock like crazy and stuff like that. He was turned face, but turned back to heel. They were saying, Rocky sucks, Rocky sucks, Rocky sucks. And Vince McMahon said it wasn't Vince McMahon who screwed the people. It was the people who screwed the people. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin comes down, and then Corporation comes down. It's off. Stone Cold's giving stunners to everybody and stuff like that. But The Rock runs away and stuff. Stone Cold went wild and stuff. And what did I think about the pay-per-view? It was a solid B and stuff. It was kind of, this was, a little bit predictable at the end and stuff, but it would have been great if Mankind won the WWE Championship as the corporate champion and stuff instead of The Rock. But they were still like the Vince McMahon, Stone Cold Steve Austin feud and stuff, and I couldn't see Mankind being like corporate champion against Stone Cold Steve Austin, so they had to have The Rock as the heel and stuff. And, the Attitude Era was something special in the WWE, which I'll probably review in December. That's about it on that. That's about it on these video blogs. Tomorrow, you're going to get 3 more. First video blog will be about the top 10 sports stars ever to win the number 25. Second video blog will be about LRTA Bus Route 11 from Lowell Kennedy Center to the IRS building in Andover, Massachusetts. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about ESPN on ABC. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Budding guy. Molly Rosenblatt, a of WCCO Channel 4 in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. Rocks and has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart's so cute. And she's got nice legs as well. And in the words of the Patel last week, no bus. And December 1st, it's going to start some predictions for 2016. The first one will be about what I predict is going to be on digital television networks over the air in the next coming months. Some interesting stuff. And maybe in 2016, guest on these video blogs. I'm shooting for Julie Broughton, Elizabeth Hart. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.